Hello, welcome to this full moon workshop. So we're here again, can you believe it? I know I do 2 of these per month, one for a new moon and one for a full moon, so it comes around kind of quickly, but it feels like so quick yet so slow. The energy has been kind of bonkers, kind of crazy. I know a lot of people have been like, what the hell is going on? We've had a lot to deal with in terms of energy, things to do with, being in our heads quite a lot. A lot of people have suffered from headaches, but overthinking, overwhelm, feeling scattered, not knowing how to make decisions, having trouble like figuring things out has been like the theme. I feel like I'm just going to move my microphone, it's a little bit closer to me. So yeah, I feel like that's been the theme, and the reason for that is because we had all of those planets in Aquarius, and you remember from the new moon video I was talking about this. All these planets have been in Aquarius, and it's led to the fact that we've been in that Aquarius energy where we felt that we're very much in our heads and thinking a lot and processing a lot and trying to figure out a lot. And we have this tendency to forget. I'm just going to move those. That pen is going to leak all over my couch. We have the tendency to forget that how to bring ourselves back into our center. We let ourselves get caught up in all of these thoughts that are going on. Are they doing it better than me? Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to change that. Maybe I need to start something new. Maybe I don't. We've been very much like in that. And even you will find that in the past couple of weeks, maybe you've been trying to have downtime and it's been feeling like you're not switching off properly, like you're half in, you're half out. I'm half thinking about work, but I'm also thinking about I need to relax, and that has also caused this like overwhelm, a sensation of overwhelm, because we haven't been able to switch off properly, especially if you're an Aquarius and you've been in this all of this Aquarius energy and you're an Aquarius. It's like so much thought happening to you right now. But I want to tell you that we're in Pisces season right now, and now we're heading into this lovely Virgo full moon. So you can breathe a sigh of relief. If you imagine we've been in all of this air energy, and we're going to be in Aquarius for the next, 5 years or whatever, 5 or 6 years. But the planets have been lined in Aquarius. But if you imagine all of that air energy, and now we're heading into this full moon in Virgo, which is this earth sign. It's giving you an opportunity to anchor and ground back down and find your center, which is what we need. We want to take it back down. We don't want it to be all here. We want to bring it back in. And that you're going to find that you'll feel like relief after this full moon, that you can like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God I don't have to be thinking about everything now. I can just stop for a moment. So, the fact that you're doing this, you're honoring that. You're honoring yourself to just stop, press pause for a moment, center back in, anchor back in, welcome in this lovely soothing energy of this Virgo full moon, and release off anything that you've been thinking about that you haven't been able to figure out, or you felt that you need to figure out. Just let it go. Just release it. We're going to be doing a meditation where we're going to do a release. I've done a couple of these release meditations, so I'm going to try and do it a little bit differently today, but we'll just be releasing any of that. And Virgo is about also us connecting back to our higher self. Okay. So many of you will find that after this full moon, you might be feeling this already, because we're in that full moon energy already, that you feel like, yes, now things are feeling a little bit better. Things are feeling a little bit better, and I can start to move into where I want to go. Whereas maybe your visions or connecting to your higher self has been kind of difficult the past month. You know who she is, you've seen her before, you've connected to her before, but you've found like it difficult to really connect to how it feels to be in her shoes. How do I get to her? How do I really connect? So we can welcome that in going forward. I always have my notes, as you know, if you've seen this, if you've watched these before. Yes, I was just writing, I wrote down some like pointers for myself about this Virgo full moon, about it being like this sigh of relief and feeling calm, whereas not so much like, where we've been very much in our thoughts, but you know, this sense of calm. But Virgo, she is the virgin goddess, right? So way back, Virgo was the name for a virgin goddess, okay? So I love that, because the goddess element of that is that feminine energy and finding your center again, your intuition, and anchoring yourself back in. But also the sense that virgin is like newness, right? So not in the way that we might have seen virgin back in the day, like, oh, she like before she's with a man or anything like that, not that kind of vibe. But if you give it its power, independence, like really connecting to your independence, connecting to you, to what feels like the right decision for you, connecting to independent thinking, how to be independent, what that looks like for you, what that feels like for you. And that doesn't mean that you're blocking out everybody else and you're going to do it all yourself, but finding how you can find power in independence for yourself. And I think really, when I think about Virgo, what this means to me is finding your power in independence, making decisions for yourself, because you know it's true and it feels aligned for you. There's huge power in that. And when you feel more connected to yourself, you find it easier to make decisions that feel aligned. And that's why I constantly harp on about spirituality is about you reconnecting back to yourself. For me, I feel like that's the sentence for me. Like, spirituality is here to help you reconnect back to yourself. It's not about looking outside. It's not about finding things what are outside. It's not about using tools what are outside. Yes, we can use all of those things to help support us on our journey, but spirituality is not about going outside of yourself. It's about coming back in. Okay, so how can you do things in this next couple of weeks that make you feel empowered and independent? How can you make decisions that feel aligned to you? How can you pull your center back in, reconnect with yourself, so you're doing things from a place of independence? So also, you know, this Virgo full moon, acceptance too, you know, accepting that the things that have happened this year so far, you know, that it just is. Okay, we don't need to have to get into the thoughts about why some things are happening or why is it happening to me, all of that sort of stuff. We don't need that. We can just accept where things are. And if you look back at how your life has developed, or your journey, or your business, whatever it may be, how it's developed, how everything happened for a reason to get you to where you are today. And we continue to work along that path, right? So all of the changes and all of the things that have happened to you in the past month or so is here for a reason, because it's getting you back to a place, or getting you forward to a place where you are meant to be going. Okay, so even when it looks like things are not working out and it's not how you would have planned, the universe has a different plan for you, but they're still going to get you to the place where you need to be. Okay, so trust in that and have the acceptance. Let's see what else I wrote. Yeah, being at peace with that as well, and being at peace with change. And we've learned so much about change in this pandemic, right? Because we've had to relinquish our control, because things have just changed without us being able to stop it. It's just happened. So being able to accept that as well. And acceptance is like a big deal in terms of our mental well-being, our like physical well-being. When we accept situations, accept ourselves, things are so much easier. And it's very much in sync with that Virgo energy of grounding, that sigh of relief, and being like, oh, it's okay because I'm just me and I accept the way I am. I don't need to be like somebody else. So what else do we have here, what I've forgotten to mention? Yeah, also, you know, this independence and inner strength is important for Virgos, but also you might have felt like you've been called to find a new way to find freedom or be free, whether that's with your time or your work or your hobbies or at home. How can I find more freedom for myself? Because you're looking to find a way back to yourself, but looking for freedom. So some of you might have felt like you wanted to escape because of lockdown and stuff like that, but also because of that energy. But going forward, like, how can you connect to that sense of freedom in your day-to-day? Like, does that mean like going for a walk for 10 minutes? Does it mean like watching a movie, what you can immerse yourself in? Because it's like going to a different place, a different world. So really connecting to a sense of freedom as well around this full moon. And I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, going forward, let's like connect more to our higher self. As I said, you might have felt like you've had this block and you haven't been able to connect to your higher self, but we're going to release that as well, because the full moon is here to allow us to do that. Okay, release anything that's stopping us from connecting to our higher self, even if it's because our thinking brain is like, it's not real, it can't happen, what if, and all of this sabotaging kind of thoughts. Whereas when we bring it back into this earth energy, which is very much like root chakra and grounding in, we know that we can connect to our higher self. We know it's there. We know it's us. It's inside of us. Okay. So remembering your power is something I wrote at the bottom of my notes, because you'll find your power in independence. You'll find your power in like grounding down. You'll find your power in making decisions for yourself instead of looking outside. I'm here for support. You know, you need that, whether it's in cards, whether it's in like a mentor or a guide like myself, whatever. Support is really important, but don't put all of your decisions outside of yourself. Like, you need to start to find a way of making decisions for yourself that feel aligned. So looking for advice is always good. Sorry, I'm drinking my tea. Okay, so let's look at some cards for this Virgo full moon, and then we're going to do the meditation. Something I've been working a lot with recently is essential oils, as in, you know, I try and get ones what are like either local or from someone like a small seller. So I have this one, I think I mentioned it before. It was an Indian lady. She was traveling through France and I bought this from her, and it's amazing. But I love to put it here. It's real. I'm not lying. It's really centering to put an essential oil here and sniff it in. It's great for grounding. So good. Also, I got this from Mimi Tricchini, and she's on Instagram, and she does all these essential oils, and this one is a goddess oil, your inner goddess, but she does loads. She does ones for money and manifestation, and she has a little Etsy shop, and I rate them highly. She does like sage sprays and things like that. So I'll put the link in my bio, not in my bio, in the description down below, and maybe you can look her up if you're looking for a different type of essential oil. Things like self-massage, even if it's like your shoulders, your face, your temples, wrists, all that sort of stuff. Like, great way of doing self-care. Like 5 minutes before bed of you getting some lovely essential oils and just taking a moment to like massage your shoulders, your neck, your temples. If it's not a hair wash day, like if you need to wash your hair the next day, do your scalp. Like, it's amazing. Those pressure points, just so good for like really grounding you down and making you feel good. So yeah, give that a go. And this, since we've been like up in the air and I've been getting headaches and feeling kind of scattered, selenite has been my go-to. I've literally been putting it in my bra. I've been carrying it around with me all the time. It's helped me to feel less overwhelmed and less scattered. It's almost like giving me some sort of clarity. So I'm loving selenite. So pick yourselves one of those up. Let's have a look at the tarot and then we'll do this meditation. I feel like it's a little, I have a candle on, yeah. Still seems a little bit dark even though it's daytime. Lovely tarot. What do you have to tell us about this Virgo full moon? Of course, the Hermit, right? The Hermit card, because it's asking us to just stop. It's okay. And it's not telling us to like, you have to stop doing, you have to stop rushing or any of that. It's not that. It's saying that this is the time that you can just ground and pause. The Hermit is very grounding earth energy because the Hermit is all about hibernation. So if you think about animals in their little tunnels and stuff like that, hibernating, this weekend is giving you an opportunity to recognize that you can like find your center again. And it's kind of funny because if you're thinking about nature, like we're heading into spring, right? So you would think, you know, Hermit is a very wintry card in my eyes, but also it's welcoming you to connect to the fact that you can pause at any time. You can press pause at any time, even if it's just for an hour, even if it's just for a day, just for a minute. You can press pause and find your center again before you proceed and go further. So I love that. Also, it's a 9, which means that we're coming to the end of a cycle. And I feel like that is in terms of our weather and nature. We're coming to the end of, you know, this wintry weather. We've seen glimpses of spring, which has been lovely. So, oh, some of these are the wrong way around, as in they're not even facing the right way. Okay. Okay, so what else do we have? Lovely. That's very Virgo. The Empress. So the Empress is like opulence, luxury, feminine energy. Look at her inside where she's sitting, all these trees around her connected to nature, earth, energy, connecting to, like, she's taking her time and she's in a forest, right, which is very like in nature, which is like Virgo earth energy, right, grounding down, but also the feminine energy of that virgin goddess that Virgo is, like connecting to the goddess part of that, to your femininity, knowing that there's strength inside of that, right? She knows what she's doing. Independence. When you look at her, you would look at her and you would not think, I bet she like can't make any decisions. I bet she's really scattered. No, she knows what she's doing. She knows who she is and how to make a decision. And then we have the feminine symbol down here at the bottom. And lastly, yeah, this is exactly where you've been. So we get the 2 of Swords. I can't make a decision. Everything is happening to me instead of for me. Like, I don't know which way to turn. It's impossible. I can't figure it out. All of that sort of stuff. It's like self-imposed. She's chosen to sat on like the hardest stool. It's made out of stone. Like, it's an uncomfortable place to be in that space where you feel like I can't make a decision and everything is happening around me and I can't control it. And the water in the background is like, it's making her feel so emotional about it. But she can put down those swords, take off her blindfolds. Like, her hands are not bound together. So she can totally like drop those swords, take off that blindfold and see clearly, right? Which is what this Virgo full moon is welcoming you to do. Just stop for a moment, connect to the earth energy of Virgo full moon and reconnect to yourself, and you will see more clearly. You won't have to be like, oh my God, why is all this happening? Like, it's not happening like to make you feel like this anxiety and overwhelm. It's happening like for you. So it's welcoming you now to just stop for a moment and like ground in and take the blindfold off and see more clearly and be like, okay, so I can totally do this or that. You know, I can see the two options. I don't need to be like, oh my God, there's so many things going on. Okay, so I feel like that is perfect. Yeah. And I don't usually do this, but I'm going to take the bottom card as well. I know some people do this. Temperance, balance, reconnecting to the balance of things because of that air energy, what we've been in with Aquarius and stuff. The balance has been a little bit off because we've been too much in one thing and not in the other. And I feel like a lot of you have been more in your masculine and not in your feminine. So you've been doing, even though it's not really been working, like you've been wasting a lot of energy. So how about we stop that? How about we just like find the balance again, tip the scales back into balance instead of them being all the way over. I certainly have noticed that I've been more in my masculine energy and it has not been serving me because I've literally been getting none of it done. It's like pushing against something and it just will not move. Like it's just a waste of energy. So it's time to bring things back into balance again. Temperance card. I love temperance. All right, perfect. So I want you to find somewhere you can relax. I'm just going to pause this and make sure my microphone is close enough to me so you can hear me. I'm not going to do like I did for the new moon where I patched in the meditation because it literally took me all day to do that. And it could have been retrograde, but also it could have been the fact that it took me all day to do that. So I'm just going to record it here with you. And yeah, so just make sure you're somewhere where you can be comfortable. I'm going to pop this on pause and make sure all my mic is close enough to me so you can hear me clearly. So one moment. Okay, so let's get going with this meditation. So I want you to take some time just to really relax into your space right now. And I want you to think about this earth energy and everything that goes with it for this full moon. Grounding into the earth. Connecting to the earth, connecting to Mother Nature, connecting to Gaia, connecting to everything on this planet that can help you feel like fully supported right now. So take some time here for you, some space for you, and take some deep breaths, whichever way feels comfortable for you. So it can be in through the nose and out through the mouth, or you can go in through the nose and back out through the nose. Don't overthink it, but just let yourself have some deep breaths here now. With each of these deep breaths, I want you to feel that sense of relief and that sense of release. So this Virgo full moon is welcoming us to have that sigh of relief, to have calmness, to feel soothed, to know that we can release anything that no longer serves us. So we're not going to force ourselves to release anything. We're not going to push. We're not going to fight. We're just going to let this full moon do what she wants to do. And that's to help to assist you to feel more centered, more grounded, more independent. So continue to take your breath and just imagine with each exhale, you're releasing anything that no longer serves you. And each out breath is that sense of relief. You don't have to think so much now. You can let it go. And I want you now to imagine that you're in a forest. This is the perfect place to be for this Virgo full moon, with nature, with the earth. So you're standing in a forest and you can feel the kind of humid kind of damp air. It's still pleasant. It's kind of warm, but you can feel like there's droplets in the air, exactly how you would feel if you were in a forest. The air feels fresh, but you can feel that humidity. I want you to just stand here for a moment and listen to any sounds. Maybe you hear nothing. Maybe you hear some rustling. Maybe you can hear some birds. Maybe you can hear some water somewhere. Just stop for a moment and tune in. What can you hear here? What does it feel like to be here? Do you feel relieved? Do you feel rested? Does it feel like a sigh of relief to be able to take this time out? You have no access to people, things, other places, to-do lists, computers, phones. We have none of this here in this forest. It's just you and the forest. I want you to see now if you can smell anything. Can you smell the forest air? Can you smell the soil? Maybe there's some flowers or plants that you can smell. What's the air smell like? And I want you now to do something that you probably wouldn't want to do in real life, even though you've heard it's really good for you. But we're going to do that now. So I want you to look down at your feet and I want you to start to take your shoes off. So you might need to crouch down, you might need to sit down, you might need to undo the laces, but I want you to take your shoes off. And if you're wearing socks right now, you can take those off too. Pop them inside your shoes, pop them out to one side, and allow your bare feet to be on the earth. Maybe it's really cold. Maybe it's kind of damp. Maybe it's really dry. Just allow your feet to feel what's happening there. How does it feel? Feel connected. Have fun with this, because you perhaps wouldn't do this in real life. So wriggle your toes, connect to that feeling of being in the earth. And now we're going to take a short walk. So I want you to walk forwards, and you're surrounded by trees because we're in the forest, right? And these are really, really big trees, like huge trunks, very, very old. But I want you to intuitively choose one tree. It could be to your left, it could be to your right, it could be right in front of you. And take a few steps towards that tree. It's your chosen tree. It's not right or wrong. Choose the tree for you and start to walk towards that tree. And when you come to the tree and you're face to face with the trunk of this tree, I want you to say, hello, tree. You know, you don't have to say it out loud, but in your mind. Trees are living beings, they're part of this Mother Earth. So say hello, tree. And this tree is going to help you today. So trees are really special because they can take our negative energy, transmute it, and send it back out into the atmosphere as positive energy. So I want you to do this today. And I want you to place your hand on the trunk of this tree and start to feel into the energy of this tree. Like just feel connected like you would if you were feeling grounded at the start of a meditation. Just feel connected to this tree. Maybe you can feel the bumps on the palm of your hand of the tree. Just connect to that energy of this tree. This tree is here to help you today. And now you're standing there, you're feeling connected to this tree, and you have your hand on this tree's trunk. I want you to close your eyes inside here. Close your eyes there. And I want you to start to send through your arm, through your hand, into the tree, any of the thoughts, thought patterns, negative thoughts, restrictive thoughts, resentful thoughts, any thoughts that you've been having recently that don't serve you, any decisions that you've been struggling to make or you've been toing and froing and fretting. I want you to send all of those down from your mind, down, 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 in through your arm, into your hand and into the tree. So imagine them going down the tunnel of your arm into your hand and into the tree. I know that you are not harming the tree by sending your thoughts, because the tree is very special. It can transmute these thoughts and turn them into positive things. So the tree is here to help you to take on all of this for you. You don't have to hold it anymore. So anything that you've had recently that you've been holding on to and you're tired of carrying it, you're tired of thinking about it, send it down through your hand and into the tree. And I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do that now. Okay. So if you have any thoughts left, anything else that you want to pass down, you can do that now. And while you're still standing here, I want you to have gratitude for this tree. Gratitude for Mother Nature allowing you to do this, allowing you to be held, allowing you to send any negative parts and any negative thoughts, and allowing you to release it so Mother Nature can take care of it. So have gratitude for this tree. Thank you, tree. And you can start to open your eyes here inside your mind's eye. So staying within this meditation, but opening your eyes. You can remove your hand. And I want you to give this tree a hug. Maybe it's too big to hug and you can't stretch your arms around. And maybe it's quite small and you can reach your arms all the way around. Give this tree a hug and say thank you. Thank you for taking all of these things away from me. Thank you for taking all of these thoughts that I no longer want to carry. Thank you, tree. And this tree is sending all of these thoughts, it's turning all of these negative thoughts, all of these thoughts, decisions, and it's turning them into positives and sending them back out into the atmosphere. Something that you could not do, but the tree can do that for you. So thank you, tree. I want you now to turn around and you're going to walk back to where you left your shoes. So look down at your feet. Are they a bit muddy? What do you feel? Is it sticky? Is it dry? Have you enjoyed it? Does it feel fun? Are you a little bit like, oh my God, my feet are so dirty? Just smile at the fact that you've allowed yourself to do this. Walk back to your shoes. Continue to take some fresh air in, some of this forest air, some cleansing air. And you can now bend down, pop your socks on, pop your shoes on, tie the laces if you need to. Don't worry if you have muddy feet, it's fine. You're going to go home now soon, so you can just wash it off. So pop those back on now. And turn to face the way you were facing when you were going to head towards that tree. And I want you to just look, take it all in and have gratitude for this forest, for this place, for the sounds, for the smells, for the trees, for the air. Just have a moment to say thank you. And you can turn around and walk back along the path that you came in. And you'll feel yourself coming back to this room where you're sitting. And you can connect to your breath if you need to. Wriggle your fingers and toes and start to open your eyes. And we're back in the room. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to tell you that it is true that trees do that. So if you want to do this in real life, trees can transmute negative and turn them into positive. They have this unique energy exchange where they can take our energy and turn it into positive energy. Like it's the ions that happen in the tree. If you're ever somewhere where you can see a eucalyptus tree, if you put your ear towards the tree, you can hear the water moving in the tree because eucalyptus needs to take loads and loads of water. But trees are really special. So when you've read or seen or heard that hugging a tree is like amazing. It is because you're putting your energy into the tree transmutes it and puts out different energy. So you are gaining something from that, even by touching it. And taking your shoes off is great for grounding, but sometimes we don't want to do that. As 21st century, we're like, oh, I don't really want to get my feet muddy and I'm afraid of what people think of me. So you can do it in your meditation and still get the same kind of effects from it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a lovely full moon. Breathe that sigh of relief, that we don't have to be in our head anymore. And yeah, have a lovely, lovely weekend if you're watching this on the Saturday of the full moon. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.